despite him being such a star player, this is actually my first ever interview with CaliTrlolz that I can think of, at least. Is that true?
Yes, it is. Actually, it's our first time talking to each other. So
No, we talked. We talked at the
I mean,
teammate house. Yeah,
you came into my stream once or something, right? Yeah. So,
and we did the house tour, and I saw your animal. Yeah.
but we didn't really get to talk. So
So now we get to know, we get to learn so much about each other through this, or at least I get to ask you a bunch of questions. So yeah, let's start off with it's week 5. You guys we're struggling a little bit. Is this the beginning of you guys climbing back up a bit?
um, so what was the question?
Because it seems like you guys have been struggling a little bit over the past couple of weeks as a team. So now you've just beat Coast. Do you think that you guys will be able to sort of leverage this to keep winning more games in the coming weeks?
I mean, winning against Ghost doesn't necessarily mean we're gonna translate that into other victories. We've been doing really well in scrim and also against good teams, and like it comes to like, especially for me, like I'm not performing well on stage per se currently. I don't know why, but I've like these jitters that keep like keeping my focus down. Like I can't really look at the minimap anymore like I do in scrims. So I made a really dumb mistakes in like Dignitas game. I do like single-handedly like going in when when I shouldn't, obviously shouldn't have twice, and then do like a really big lead. So I'm really great. I really regret my decision. Then I really want me to be back in shape where like I can perform as well in as well in stage as I did in scrims. So yes, I'm definitely looking for that.
What do you think you need to do to try to like counteract these jitters? Because I mean, you're not the first person to have like onstage jitters at the LCS, but how do you think you'll get around it?
It's actually weird because I actually performed better when it was like my not my first time, but like second time or third time in the LAN games.
Yeah.
I actually perform better than what I do in like solo queue because I care about more.
Right.
But the past 2 weeks I wasn't really feeling well for some reason, and I just couldn't focus. I kept drinking Red Bull, still didn't work out. So I guess it's getting a little bit of like physical and mental tiredness from keep playing League, I guess.
Yeah.
It's kind of getting into this, maybe. And I really hope I get better on it. Like I can't really blame all my performances on just having the stage jitter. So
Do you think that that's what's holding you guys back a lot? Is just you guys are being not having like the LAN and LCS experience that some of the other teams do, or do you think any element of it is like picks and bans or team and game decision making?
I mean, definitely. I still think it's hard to far-fetched to say that we're gonna be top 5 team this split. So I'm not looking forward to like, oh, we'll just go off from here. Like we're trying to build up so we do really well in summer split. I'm looking towards getting to 6th place is my goal right now, since is we're over the half mark of the LCS of 10 games out of 18. We only have 8 games to go, and I really want us to be in the 6th place, so at least we can go into the playoffs and be able to perform and show what we got for you guys.
So I'd also like to ask you about the Team 8 team environment. So, I mean, a lot of people, some of these guys have like shows or whatever. They talk a lot about like what's going on behind the scenes, but nobody really knows what's going on behind the scenes in Team 8. Are you guys getting along? Is everything great? What's it like living at the Team 8 house?
We definitely get along together. It's not intentional, but there's a cultural difference or racial difference, but it comes out that like the Canadian, like our jungler, our twin brother of his, and Maple get along a little better than me, Dodo, and Andrew. Like it's not intentional. It's a little bit, but we always take care of each other. Dodo, our manager, usually tries to cook for the entire team when we do, and it's actually pretty fun. And talking about like team environment, I try to be the bad cop of the team. Okay. So when there's anything going off, I try to be the person who speaks out against them. So yeah, so I can't always have like I'm not like the angel of the team. Yeah. So I try to be like the take control of like more critical role on the team side. Toro is more like a sturdy, like really elder, but like respectable member. So people listen to him a lot as well. So and it's a lot a lot of random stuff happening. It's actually really fun. I love what I'm doing right now in the LCS.
I'd love to also ask you about Slooshi. I feel like more and more it's becoming apparent that he's kind of like this underrated mid player, and he seems to be making a lot of plays. Do you think he's rapidly becoming like the all-star of your team? I mean, you have a lot of hype around yourself too, so.
Yeah, Andre's definitely a really good mid laner. We have Alex, Itch, and our sub, but the reason why we're not replacing him, but is not only because he started off with us like in the beginning, like it's also friendship, but also his skill isn't like any better or worse than Alex Itch, or if not better.
Yeah.
So we're still keeping it on, although we have Alex, the legendary mid laner from M5, which I looked up to before.
Yeah.
I've never thought about such like highly like player being a sub for my team.
Yeah.
Like it was back in like 3 years ago when I looked up to M5, the godlike. Like it was like, I think it was like even more. I looked up more than like SKT during its hype, because that was the first team that dominated the entire scene like single-handedly. So.
Do you ever have a chance to talk to Alex, or do you talk to him a lot?
He had visited our team house, and also he lives around here, and he came to our room once in a while, try to talk about what he thinks about the game and whatnot. But yeah, he's a lot more talkative guy than I thought, than I expected. Like I thought he was a really like quiet and like really cold guy, looking at the games and how his facial like expressions, but he's actually really talkative and fun guy to be around.
Well, that about wraps it up. Anything that you want to say to any of the fans out there for Team 8?
Thank you for all the teammate, whether it's like 100 people or like 50 people. Like, thank you so much for the opportunity for me, especially through Reddit and whatnot for the petition, and also just whoever enjoys our games is definitely appreciated. Thank you so much, and thanks to our sponsors like Corsair. And I'm sorry that I didn't get to really play meta picks. I mean, non-meta picks, but it's kind of hard right now because you have to be red side. You can't first pick those random non-metas. And also the situations come that it's a really hard time to pick a non-meta champion just because there's so many non-meta champions out there now. It's very hard to make it non-meta unless you're picking like Heimerdinger. Like Hecarim's not innovative or anything, so.
Heimerdinger hopefully soon. Not now, but hopefully soon.
There's a fan who keeps asking me to play Heimerdinger.
Oh, really?
But I'll look into it.
So hopefully we can catch some of that in solo queue later on. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of our coverage of all things esports at ongamers.com.